Early one morning, Cato the hunter entered the forest carrying his bow and green bag. He was looking for berries and mushrooms to take home. As he walked between the tall trees, he suddenly heard a tiny cry. Meow, meow. He stopped and listened. The sound came from behind a bush. Cato slowly moved the branches aside. There, sitting alone, was a little lion cub. The cub looked dirty and frightened. Its eyes were filled with tears. Cato looked around. There was no lioness nearby. The little cub was completely alone. The hunter knelt down and opened his water bottle. The cub carefully drank the water. Then it rubbed its head against Cato's leg. Cato smiled. "I cannot leave you here," he said. The hunter stood up and continued walking. To his surprise, the lion cub followed him. Suddenly, loud barking echoed through the forest. For wild dogs appeared from behind the trees. The little cub became terrified. Cato quickly picked up the cub and climbed onto a large rock. The wild dogs circled below. They barked and growled for a long time. Cato held the cub tightly. Finally, the dogs became tired and ran away. As the sun began to set, a loud roar shook the forest. Roar! The cub's ears stood up. Another roar came from nearby. The cub jumped from Cato's arms and ran forward. Cato followed carefully. Then he saw her. A large lioness stood between the trees. The cub ran straight to its mother. The lioness lowered her head and gently licked the little cub. Then she slowly looked up at Cato. The hunter stood completely still. For several seconds, nobody moved. Then the lioness blinked and slowly lowered her head, as if saying thank you. She turned and walked away with her cub. Night arrived. Cato began his journey home. Suddenly, the same wild dogs returned. This time, they surrounded him from every direction. Cato stepped backward. He had nowhere to run. Then a mighty roar filled the darkness. Roar! The lioness appeared. She stood in front of Cato. The wild dogs immediately became afraid. One by one, they ran deep into the forest. The lioness turned and looked at Cato. For a moment, the hunter and the lioness simply stared at each other. Then she disappeared into the darkness. Cato smiled. That day, he learned something important. Even the wildest creatures never forget kindness. The end.